Hey y'all, what's up? My name is Mizzle. You're watching my channel, Mr. 14, and I'm here doing another real life talk segment, and it's about the Jamal Bryant response video to Monique Samuels' receipts at the end of the season 5 reunion part 1. I have seen a lot of people. I haven't watched a lot of people views videos, but I've seen a lot of comments on Twitter and Instagram, Facebook and stuff, and it seemed very emotionally invested. People are like pissed and mad, and I was like, I don't know why people get so invested. I don't know nothing about these Bryants or Samuels, none of these cast members. I just speak how I feel. Maybe some things I might be more emotionally involved than others, but I won't get too upset and too pissed off that I would just start screaming and going off the range, attacking people and everything because they got different opinions. Say, oh, hell, you call people names and stuff. People doing the most. It's like, wow, it's like you think that these people are your family members. It's like, come on now. Now, Jamal's response is defending himself. He's had every right to defend himself. Just like people said Monique has every right to defend herself or what they people have been coming after her family. It's true. It's right. But let's be fair and let's talk about the facts about how everything is. Because Monique is not innocent in this situation at all. She's not innocent. And Gizelle is not innocent either. A lot of people in the show is like, it's sad. Y'all grown adults and y'all do a lot of middle schoolish, elementary schoolish behaviors. And it's like ridiculous. Ridiculous to me. Alright, so her response video. Now, Monique mentioned in the end of the last 5 to 10 minutes of the season how she came hard at Gizelle because people is saying that Gizelle's relationship with Jamal, excuse me, is fake. It's not real. She putting up in front of the cameras thinking that it is something and it's not. It's because it's not real. Because Monique said, oh, well, he been seeing someone else while he was seeing with you, and I got the text message to prove it. He been slinging his D in around the congregation, sleeping with everybody in his church, and having sex on stuff. He's a holy whore. She said a lot of that stuff. I said, oh my gosh. And basically went after Jamal. She didn't really say anything directly to Gizelle. She was coming after Gizelle in the expense of going after Jamal. Because she was saying that her and Jamal is a relationship. So then we just downplay and bash Jamal. But I would say that's crazy because if you mad at Gizelle, go after Gizelle. But she wanted to dispel the thing and saying that, oh no, they fake. Yeah, they faking it. Cause he's seeing and sleeping with someone right now. And I got the text message to prove it. She reached out to me, this is his number, and she said, yeah. That's the only thing that I can say that's factual is the number. But everything else that Monique said, I cannot go off and say, oh, she's saying everything is true. She needs to say allegedly. When a lot of people do these videos and put claims at someone else and making it seem like, oh, I speak facts, I speak facts. You can't say you speak facts. You gotta say allegedly because you don't know if it's really actually true. Somebody reach out to you with just text messages. You didn't know if the text messages and what she's doing. She could be fabricating. She could put out lies in the text messages. The only thing that has made it seem somewhat believable is because his past behaviors. We don't know if he's doing anything now. We don't know if he's cheating on Gizelle now or he's doing any cheating and everything. I'll get to that in a minute. Now, people's upset that he came on and get a response video and basis after saying nothing. People wanted to know if he actually is in a relationship with Gizelle and if it's true or not. And it's not fake or not. He didn't say anything, which I do agree. He didn't say anything about the relationship of him, his status relationship with Gizelle. He only defended himself based on what Monique was saying about him. And he has a right. He responded to that. Now, if she would have said allegedly, this is stuff that came about, then he probably wouldn't respond. But the fact that she made it as true conviction that it is true that he's doing all this, it's not. Then he had to respond. So he basically defended himself in the video. He somewhat low-key defended Gizelle, and I'll go back in a minute, but mainly he defended himself about what Monique was saying about him. Now, he made some points. He said he would never show up in Real Housewives of Potomac season ever again. Not in the show. He's not returning to the show ever again. Which is fine because, but also it sheds light to Gizelle's story because now if Jamal's not coming back, she can't use the aspect of him, me and him in a relationship. Maybe she could still go and buy that in a secret. But now, what angle could she use in her storyline? Right? He's not coming back. He's mentioned that because the person who went after him is like he said he never met her. He never really met her in person. He never shook hands with her. They never really have a direct conversation with each other. So why she came after him so hard like that in the part one reunion? Now, people saying that she came after him so hard because Gizelle has been coming after people's marriages and relationships in the past. Now, granted, let me just talk about that. Granted, yes, Gizelle has been messy. Just like Ashley has been messy, a lot of people have been messy on the show and have been coming after people's relationships, have made opinions, have made comments about that stuff. Now, when Monique came to the scene, we know that Gizelle never cared for Monique and Monique never cared for Gizelle. Right off the bat, they never cared for each other. They never friends. So whatever they say to each other, whatever they do towards each other, it's all fair game because at the end of the day, they don't like each other. So we can't be surprised when Gizelle clap back her and Monique clap back at Gizelle because they never cared for each other. They never did. So, but when Monique came to the scene, Gizelle didn't even care for her and she made talk jabs and made dishes and stuff like that. But she never went hard body to Monique family and talk about her husband and all that stuff like that. Until Monique came with that Kendall situation in season 3. Remember, Gizelle and Charisse were having a falling out at that time. Charisse decided to bring Kendall. Monique was in the same line with Charisse and bringing her on at the party. Gizelle didn't show up, so Charisse decided to dead that. But Monique continued to ride on that fence with Kendall and continue her on with the season and started dispelling just Sherman past and everything, and that his ex-girlfriend, ex-wife and all that stuff, and brought her on and just scared him away. He's not coming back, and it's like kind of hurt Gizelle, which is fine. Like I said, it's fair game between those two. They never like each other, but Monique started that by doing that season 3. So Gizelle did mention, and I was showing a lot of clips now of that season 3 encountering sit down between Monique and Gizelle. They had to keep showing that a lot. They showed that Gizelle warned her. I said, you trying to throw a jab at me, and I'm going to come back at you. You throw a jab and you miss. Now I'm going to come back at you, and you never going to expect it. And that's what happened. Gizelle retaliated back. And that's why I feel like this lady's doing this is too much. You got grown adults, it's too much. Going back and forth, it's like a lot. Stop it. All this underhanded tactics behind the scenes is ridiculous. So Gizelle came back, and with this, mentioned that rumor about the trainer, and Chris find out on national television on the confessional in season 5, which all started by her former best friend Gigi, who came around and spread it to these different ladies about the rumor. So Monique's ex-best friend is the cause of all this tension and turmoil with this ladies. That amplifies it because this happened 2 years ago, before taping of season 4. Monique knew about this rumor spreading. So, fair game. So Monique did something to Gizelle. Gizelle came back, and then Monique is coming back. So it's like a tit for tat. Now next season, maybe Gizelle might come back to Monique, and they're gonna keep going back and forth. And it's like it's gonna be timing. It'll be timing. So that's it. He said he would never show up again because the fact that she will assassinate his character, going on this, incriminating him on and stuff, is sickening. And he don't like that because he never really came after the lady. He really didn't, because when he came to the show, it was all about the Gizelle and about the girls. And when he came to the scene, we didn't really see Jamal like that, unless it was about Gizelle directly or the girls. Other than that, he ain't even been no gossip. He ain't been really talk about other females of the cast or other people in the cast. He really said nothing. He just stayed what he had to do what he had to do, and that's it. So the fact that he's so bothered that Monique came at him like that, he had to respond. Well, she's having a right to be. I mean, sometimes I wouldn't respond. I would say, listen. And sometimes it's also with the rumor thing, it's like if there's no light to it, there's no truth to it, I wouldn't respond to that either. Because there's only give truth and there's only give light to it if you respond to the way that makes it true. That it's like she's this angry about what's happening, about that woman spreading, all that stuff. So she had to take actions and go on live and do this and all that stuff. And I said, I mean, if it's not really true, I want you to understand. If somebody spread rumors about you, you're not gonna be sitting there lightly. You're gonna be upset. You're gonna be angry. You're gonna be like this. But sometimes it's not meant to even give bothered, especially with a lot of these ladies that you don't even care for. It's like what? Okay. But yes, it's destroy the family, and understand. I get that. I get that. I do definitely get that. But come after people who really deserve to come after. Like you should came after Gizelle hard body. The fact that you went after Jamal, I was like, I do agree that that was too far thing, but at the same time, they never cared for each other, so they going back and forth. Okay. All right. So he did mention another thing about how the show, people think they seeing things in real time, which I understand what he's saying. Because when we watch the seasons and we watch the episodes, sometimes it's not always taped in current time. It may take in advance. And in this case, the season that we see now, it was 2019, before the pandemic, all that stuff. 2019. So we get to see the storyline that happened in 2019, not into 2020. So all the stuff that's happening in the reunion stuff, the reunion is taped now in 2020, but all the stuff we see in the storyline happened last year. So we can't determine or confirm or deny a lot of he's saying that it's lying if you don't know what's happening now. You only know what you saw on a television based on what happened and what was recorded last year. So we can't off the back saying that, oh, he's lying or she's definitely telling the truth and stuff like that. We don't know the timeline of what she's presented these truths or these supposed truths. And what he is saying is that his timeline and what's going on now is actually fabricated, false. You can't determine that if you know what's up now. Okay? So, and also, it does explain what he's saying. A lot of people in the comment section say, oh, well, this has happened now. This, I said, no, this happened last year. This didn't happen now. So she came out and said, Gizelle was like, well, no one wanted to do so. That's why everybody was upset about why she came out to Candace when Gizelle was one of the rumors and why Monique is sitting high fives and slapping Gizelle and want to be having lunches with her. Even though Monique knew about these rumors before they even start taping season 5. That's why people are so confused why she tried to be buddy with Gizelle when Gizelle was the one who was doing all this. Well, now, she one who put it out on the confessionals, but the one who was spreading it was Gigi. It wasn't Gizelle, but it was Gigi. But why she did this? Why she came after the wrong person? Why she had this anger directed at the wrong people? Which is like, explains, it just explains. So that's why I was like, what so people so hell bent, being that she's always right, which is like crazy to me. Crazy to me. Okay, so I do grant it. What we see in 2019, this is the segment he brought about the girls. When we see in the show that we see that the girls is not here for their daddy, which is fine, and I understand where he's coming from. But the teenagers have emotional imbalance. They could be rebellious in one day. They could be good at two shoes in one day. They could be upset with you in one day. They could be loving you in the next. And it's a total time a lot of teenagers, especially teenage girls, when they're going through, especially teenagers who have families in the spotlight, and they are nationally known. So it's like people know about their family. So you could imagine what these girls going through with the taping and school and the friends and stuff like that. And it could be a lot for them to deal with. So, and the fact that their father had a past that hurt their mom, and they probably grew up in this aspect, and the fact that the father and the mom is getting back together, they may feel type of way about that. So there's a lot going on with these ladies. So I understand they feel discomfort in trying to share their feelings on television about their father and stuff like that. Because I don't ever get the idea they hate their father. It is that they might dislike some of the things that he done to their mother at the time, and now they're trying to get back together. I say, y'all need to get back together. He did a lot to hurt you. So I understand that teenage daughters teenage daughters will be protective of Gizelle. Because they don't want their father to hurt their mother again. But I don't get that fact that they would hate them. And he said that they are definitely daddy's girls. And people saying, oh, he's lying. They know daddy's girls. They don't like you. And so I said, just because they had this appointment with their father doesn't mean that they can't be daddy's girls. How you know they not with the father now? How you know they is not staying in his house a lot? How you know that? This is 2030. This is 2020 that we see his spots now. This episode is the episode we seen was in 2019. How you know? A lot probably transpired between last year and now that they could be good with their father now. We don't know all that because we not in their household to know that is he telling the truth or not. So we can't automatically saying he's telling a lie about that. Yes, we seen the girls is not here for it, but it could be a lot of things that happening. It could be true that he said that when he didn't show up today, first day of school, whatever happened, they were probably upset with them. And we don't know the timeline and what they edited these videos on. So we have to take mind of that. So when he mentioned that how we watching things and think it's real time, no, it's in the past. We watching it now because it's showing the episodes now, but doesn't mean that it's a lot of things happening, right? That's why the fight happened last year, and all this stuff was happening, build up and make us believe something, and it was definitely not right. So it's like yes, and that's why Candace is upset because it's like this happened last year and it's still going on. She still don't feel remorse. She still just like, what's going on? Making a song about it, like what's up? All right, so now he get that's when he started breaking down the thing with the text messages with the lady. He said that yes, it was a text message to this particular lady that Monique was bringing up back and forth. And that's how I was saying that you can't for certain say that Monique was true and not. All we know that it was true that it had text messages back and forth. But whether or not that text message was recently, now that that text message is now with the lady, with him, and that he was dating this girl, why he was dating Gizelle, we don't know that because the timeline was never specified. So we cannot automatically agree or automatically go and jump in the bandwagon that it's true. Because we only think about that and it's automatic think it's true because his past transgressions. But we don't know what's going on now because we haven't seen any recent updates on Jamal now. And with the baby daddy and on the next baby on the way, and what the father, Gizelle father said, and the confession, and Cameron went on one of the scenes that, oh, he got 6 or 7 baby mamas and all that stuff. And we don't know. He probably have other children outside of that. We probably do know he probably have other children. Whether he have a recent baby or not, we can't determine that. We can't. There's no news brought up about this recent baby. Unless show brought it up saying that. But what? Okay. So he said yes, he has been talking to text message with this girl. So if you go show the text message, show everything, you will show that him and her was just talking back and forth. They never really met. Like she never really come in Atlanta trying to be with him. He never would go down to her and all that stuff. It was pretty text messages. And I guess she was trying. She wanted to get put on in his congregation or get a job and hired, and that didn't work out. So apparently, the talk and relationship that probably didn't work out with the lady. So since then, she probably feel jaded and stuff and want to get back. And now we know that he's on national television. He's good, and as Gizelle mentioned that she's getting back with him, maybe it's her payback of getting out. So she go out to different publications, periodicals, and bloggers and trying to get information out there about what happened and trying to dispel or destroy Jamal in a process and everything. And then when that didn't happen, 25 dismissed it, and she trying to reach out to Bravo production, and they wasn't responding to her. So now she started reaching out to every cast member, and the one who took liking to it, who took heed to it and believed it, was Monique. And that's a lot of time that Monique was going through her things with the rumors and stuff with the castmates and stuff behind the back and behind the scenes. So she took her and said, okay, you gave me information. Because I was thinking when it was happening, I said, why she reach out to Monique? Like, why she would go production about this? Why? And then he mentioned that how if she feels so upset about this and all this information, you never went to Gizelle. You never had to sit down and talk with Gizelle. You've been to everybody else, but you never went to Gizelle. If I'm supposed to be with Gizelle and we dating, and you is supposed to be my mistress, because he said you can't be mistress if you were single. He said this lady he was talking to was in the past and he was single. He was with Gizelle. So if he's single, it's fair game. So it's no mistress. He just seeing this lady. So if I'm with Gizelle now, and it's recent that I'm doing the text messages back and forth, why go to everybody else but not go to Gizelle? Which I understand that. I believe that too. I said, why you not come to me? What's up with this? Going to everybody else. I'm the one who dating him, so if this is something that I need to know, why not come to me? Whatever. So that was that. And like I said, that's his version. It's Monique's version. We can't say that she's automatically right and he's wrong. We cannot say he's automatically right and she's wrong. We don't know. The timeline was never specified, so that's unclear. So we cannot say anything for certain that is straight facts. We gotta say allegedly this is stuff was going on. So the fact that he confirmed this text message back to this lady is not confirmed that he was dating her while he's dating Gizelle. It just said that he had interaction with this lady in his past. So that's what's like the timeline is not specified, y'all. So we gotta get that in mind. It's not specified. Okay? Now, he did mention something that I was not here for when he talked about Chris and the CTE. Now, no, before that, he said that Monique came after him in the reunion because he said at this thing, he was telling his friends to watch the reunion on the Sunday, watch the reunion and watch the show and everything. He was proud. He didn't even think that Monique was going to come after him like that. But he's saying that Monique came after because she get information and it was redirected. And rage and anger was redirected to somebody else, to Gizelle, and it's not Gizelle. That's why I say he's low-key defending Gizelle, because he's saying that my ex-wife is not the responsible for the rumor spreading. And your former best friend Gigi, was a lot of outlets said that. Ashley said that. Gigi herself said that. Sharice was talking about it. Candace said it. Monique mentioned it. So it is one. The common denominator is Gigi, but she put on her things on Gizelle. That Gizelle the one who spread it. Gizelle, yes, Gizelle said it on the television and everything, but she didn't go around spreading it. She wouldn't even knew about that unless the former best friend when it was going around spreading it. So, and then he mentioned how it was leaked by a blogger who was good friends with Monique, but he recently died. We all know about the situation that happened between Candace and him, all that stuff like that. I'm not going into details about that. But leaked it out saying that Gizelle was responsible. And so she reached direct her anger out to Gizelle. And also indirectly anger her out to Candace. We will get to that in a minute when we see next week. Because I have a lot of things to say about that. And I'm saying, wow. Because Candace was not even hardly responsible for all this spreading and rumors and stuff like that. But she for him because of the energy. Okay. So one thing I didn't like that he mentioned is that Chris has CTE and he's had anger problems and she's angry. It could be a possibility that she has frustration in her household, because we seen that in the season she had frustration in her household with Chris and stuff like that. It seemed like something happened that made them, because it was like, what transpired that made them just shift like that? And because she seems a little angry more, he seems bothered by something, and it's like, what's going on? And you see that he's outbursting. He was supposed to attack Gizelle and Robin on a reunion. And he had to be subdued. I don't know if that's true or not. We didn't see part 3 yet, so we'll see. I don't think Chris will be the person who will attack a female. He probably going to verbally come after them because he's frustrated. He's upset. So I could see that happening. But physically, I don't think that will happen. But if it is, then they will have to get him off the stage. And he did say in his live that if he was a female, he would get at these ladies because they was doing a lot of spreading and stuff like that. Now, he did mention the CTE. Now, I said, you got to say allegedly. You can't mention it as a fact that you said teammates reach out to him and said, oh, Chris has CTE. Now, CTE is something that athletes get after they get a damage a lot in their head, brain, and brain surgery. But you can't determine CTE until court after the postmortem. So after you die and they dissect the brain, then doctors determine if you got CTE. That's what I know of, because I think they did a documentary on Aaron Hernandez and how his crime and what he did. And that's the one who committed suicide in jail. and they say, oh, he got CTE. This that explains his behavior and all that stuff. We don't know that. So it could be emotional outbursts. It could be a lot of things that violent behavior and stuff. We could see signs, but we don't know if he has it until after he died. So you can't for certain say that he has that. So with I do agree that he should have said that. He should have made it as a great fact. He should have said that as allegedly that's what I was told. I don't know, but he's showing signs. We don't know that until it's diagnosed after. So you can't say for certain that that's a fact. Just like we can't say for certain that this thing with this lady, Mr. Tristan, was doing at the same time when he's with a relationship with Gizelle. Now he didn't confirm or deny his relationship with Gizelle, which everybody wanted to come after, but it is what it is. He was defending himself on that stuff that she was saying about him. So, like I said, his nefarious past does make a lot of things in the future, this present, believable because of his past. Just like some people might say, oh, well, you used to be a stealer, and then something in my house has come missing, and you never steal before. You probably learned your lesson, you never steal, but because you had a past history of stealing, people will automatically believe that you stole something at my house. So I'm blaming you automatically. It could be somebody else. And that person could have used your past discretion and come after you and say, well, he always steal before, so why he won't steal now? Even though he had been years not stealing. So I understand that. So that's my take on this, y'all. Please like, comment, subscribe to my channel. I know it's kind of long, but hey, I had to speak about it. But a lot of things he said, like I said, do you listen to it and not be too emotionally discharged and go after attack mode and everything to the point. I mean, he shouldn't respond. He just let her speak her speaks and let her dig her own grave. But he did. So, and that's that. We can't do anything about that. It should have been allegedly spoken about. It shouldn't have spoke as it was real facts, and that's what got him upset. So, he won't be paired with Housewife anymore in the future season. So, we're going to see how that goes. But please like, comment, subscribe to my channel. Tell me how y'all feel. Like I said, y'all feel differently. Please, you can put in the comment section. I would like to have a conversation with you. But let's be respectful, okay, y'all? Peace.